Are you facing any issues while deploying your application on cloud, or you don't know where to start? So hi guys, welcome to Talking Tech. This is Rohit, and in this video I will guide you through each and every step of deploying your application on cloud and the errors that you might face and how to resolve them. So the first question is like, what is deployment and what is Heroku? So deployment is basically a way or a method by which you can let consumers or users to use your application or a service. Okay, and Heroku is a cloud platform as a service which enables you to run, build, monitor and scale your application entirely on the cloud. So you don't need an infrastructure. For example, if you have a Python application or let's say a Telegram bot and you want people to use it, so how can you do that? Like, you can't run that application entirely on your system 24/7. It's not feasible. So you need a platform or basically an infrastructure to run your application. So what Heroku does, Heroku let you deploy your application entirely on their platform for free, and you can easily monitor your application, and your application will be available for the users 24/7. So Heroku have paid plans as well, but for a testing, or basically you can say if you are starting just now or you are learning how to deploy your application on cloud, then you can opt for a free tier. So in this video we will see how to deploy a Python application, let's say a Python Telegram bot in Heroku. So watch the video till end. I will cover each and every step in detail along with all the possibilities of errors and you might have faced and how to resolve them. So let's check what are the requirements for this application. So first of all, we need a Heroku account, so that we want to deploy it on Heroku. So we need a Heroku account. We need to create a Python application. Like specifically, we are going to create a Telegram bot, and third one is a GitHub repository. Like in Heroku, if you want to deploy an application, like there are two ways to deploy. I mean, basically there are three ways to deploy. One is using your GitHub repository. Second one is using Heroku command line interface, and third one is using containers. So in this particular tutorial, we are going to use a GitHub repository to deploy an application. So let's see one by one. So let's start with the Heroku account. So here, like if you go to Heroku login, like there is an option to sign up. If you are a new user, then you can sign up here. If you go to sign up, then you can just, it's a free account basically, so you can fill your details quickly, like your name, email address, company name, role. You can fill students here. If you are a professional developer, like you can fill according to you, and then you can create your account. Then your account will be created after verifying your email. Since I have already created my account, so I can just log in here. Yeah, so after login here, you can see like I don't have any apps yet. First of all, what you need to do, you need to create an application in Heroku itself. Then we will see how to connect it with your Python application. So what to do now, you can click on create new app. So it will ask you for a name, specific app name. So let's say we want to create a Telegram application, okay, which mimics the user. So let me name it Mimic Bot. Mimic, I think, is not available. Mimic app, yeah, it's available. There is a reason option. You can select for any from United States or Europe. United States is better if we are using a free version. You can create an app quickly. So yes, the app is created, and you can see like there are multiple options here for the pipeline deployment method. There are three options using Git, Heroku Kit, and GitHub and container registry. So yes, and there are options also like how you can like deploy with Git CLI, but I am going to use for this tutorial, I am going to use GitHub. So let me tell you how to do it with GitHub. So first of all, let's create a GitHub repository. Okay, so I'm going to GitHub. So here I can create a new repository, name it Python Heroku tutorial. Okay, so click on a readme file and create this repository. Okay, so repository is created. So I'm going back to my Heroku account. Here it says like connect to GitHub. when I click on this option, it will ask me for my GitHub credentials. I mean, I have already, I think, attached, so it just fetched my GitHub credentials, and here you can select the repo name. Repo name is what? It's a Python Heroku tutorial. I can copy from here and just I can paste it. If I'm going to search it, then it will say like, yes, this is found and you can connect with it. Once I click on connect, so what is that? It's connected with my GitHub repository now, and it gives you an option for automatic deploys. Like, you can choose a branch and you can enable the automatic deploy. Whenever there is a push in your repository, then your application will be deployed automatically. Or either you can deploy manually. Here is an option, you can select your branch and you can just deploy it. Okay. So now what is left? Like, we need to create a Telegram bot first. So let's see how to create a Telegram bot. So for that, you need to go to Telegram and you need to search here for BotFather. Okay, so BotFather, I'm already in it, and there are commands like you can click on new bot. If you want to create a new bot, you can click on new bot. So here it is going to here it is saying like choose a name for your bot. So let's say I'm saying it Mimic. Okay, Mimic is fine. Now it's asking for the username. Username is like username, basically it's a unique name for your bot so that people can search with that particular username. Okay, so let's give it a username. Let's say if I write Mimic bot, I mean, so this username is already taken. Let's set another username like let's say infobot. I mean, it's already Mimic app bot. I hope this is available. Yes, it's available, and you can see like your bot is created and there is a token generated for your bot so that you can access your bot through APIs. So what you need to do now, you need to copy this token and you need to save it somewhere. But where to save? Like, so we are going to create a Python application, and I mean we already have our Heroku account. So let me tell you a better way to save this, because we cannot save this particular token in our program as it's confidential. And what you can do, you can go to your Heroku and open your app and go to settings. There is an option for configuration variables. So what you can do, you can set your configuration variable here. Like I say Telegram ID, and I can paste the value here, I can add it. Now what it does, I can use this configuration variable, or basically I can use this particular token with this name in my program anywhere. I just need to call it. So it's basically a security feature. If there is an important information or basically confidential information like your username, password, so don't save it in your program, save it in this particular configuration variable if you are deploying your application on Heroku. Okay, so this is it. Now till now we have covered how to create a Heroku account and how to create a GitHub repository, how to create a Telegram bot. So let's quickly go to our application now. So quickly create a new project. So let me name it Python Heroku tutorial, and leave the rest. Just create this in this window. Okay, so our project is created. Now what we need to do, we need to create a virtual environment for our project. Okay, so let's create a virtual environment here. Open your terminal and write Python -m venv, and you need to declare a path. I say dot for this particular folder. So your virtual environment is once your virtual environment is created, then we need to activate it. Okay, so since it's creating right now, so it will take a time. Yes, it's created. So what we need to do right now, we need to just activate this environment. So how can we do that? You can write scripts activate. This is a batch file particularly. So you can see here like it's activated because you get your folder name right here. So you can see that the environment is activated here. So whatever the libraries that we are going to install, it's going to save it in our environment. So how can we check that? If I just expand this, you can see these are the 3 folders that I've created, like include, library, scripts. So libraries, side packages, basically in this particular folder all your libraries that you are going to use in this particular project will be there, okay, in side packages. So for this particular application, what we need, we need a Python Telegram bot. Okay, so this is the library that we need. So how can we install them? We can install that using pip install Python okay. So once you install Python Telegram bot, it will install all the helper libraries of it. I mean whatever the libraries are there required for this particular project. I mean it will install all those libraries. Okay, so it will take some time, and once it is installed, yeah, it's installed now. So in order to deploy your application on Heroku, I previously told like there are some requirements. Okay, so what are the requirements? Let's check it. So in your Python application, if you want to deploy this application on server or basically on Heroku on cloud, so what you need you need these 3 files. One is app.py. App.py contains the logic, or basically contains the program to connect with Heroku or to deploy your application, or the working of your application, basically the logic of your application in app.py. Second one is proc file. Proc file is basically a file which contains the logic, or which basically contains the command which needs to run on startup. Okay, when you deploy your application, so after deploying your application, there should be a command to start your application. So in your proc file, you declare that command, and we will see like how to do this. The third one is requirement.txt. It's basically a text file which contain all the libraries with their versions. So how to create proc file, how to create requirement.txt, we will cover this. Since we have already installed the libraries that we are going to need, so first we are going to create the requirement.txt. So how can we do this? In Python, for this it's a simple command. You can use pip freeze requirements.txt. So let me tell you what pip freeze does. Pip freeze will give you all the libraries that are currently in your library folder, or that you have installed in this particular virtual environment, along with their versions. And pip freeze, this previous command, what it does, it's created a requirement.txt file here. You can see this file is created automatically, and all the libraries are there with their current versions. So you don't need to write these manually. Okay, so here requirement.txt is done now. So let's create a proc file. So proc file do not have any extension. You can simply name it proc file. Okay, and what you need to mention here, you need to mention what type of application you are going to create and what is the main application, okay, name. So we are going to create a Telegram bot, and we are going to use its webhook version. So I will come to it, like what is webhook and what is polling. So let's say this is particularly a web application. Okay, so what we need to write, we need to write here web, and we need to write app.py. So what does it mean? When we start our application, so it will tell Heroku like the application is basically a web application, and all the logic, you can say there is a controller, you can see it a controller. So controller is app.py. Okay, so what we need right now, we need to create an app.py. So in this particular app.py, we will write the business logic, or basically the logic for controlling our Telegram bot here. So let's quickly start with it. So the idea is, first we will create a function. Okay, we will create a function, I mean to control, or basically to initialize our Telegram bot. We will see that how it can be done. So we need to import some libraries first. Let's import telegram.ext. Okay, I think, okay, from telegram.ext import updater. dispatcher. So first let's create a main function. In this main function we need to create an updater first. So what is an updater? Updater basically it is an object which receives all the requests, all the messages that you have sent to Telegram. It receives all those updates. Okay, so we need to create an update. So in updater we need to provide our token. Token is one it's a bot token that we have got while creating our bot. And how can we access this token? If you remember, like, we have created a configuration variable in our Heroku. So yes, simply we can use that here. For that we need to import OS module, and here we can os.environment.get, and we need to pass the configuration variable name. So that name was Telegram ID. So here we can pass this token. Okay, so this is the updater. Next we need to create a dispatcher. So what is dispatcher now? Dispatcher is basically another object which will dispatch the request, okay, which will dispatch the updates basically to different handlers. So handlers and what are the handlers, we will discuss this later. Let's create a dispatcher first. We can create a dispatcher like this. Now we need to create a handlers. So handlers are like whenever you send a message, maybe to Telegram, there are in case of bot there are other ways also, like you can use a command, or if you are sending a message, there are different types of it, like a text message or an image or a video you are sending. So we can filter out also these things. So in case of command, let's say basically in Telegram there are handlers to handle all these types of requests. Okay, so here we are creating some handler. Okay, the first handler we are creating is command handler. Okay, let's say there is a command. Whenever you start a Telegram bot, the first command automatically goes is /start. So let's create a handler for that particular command, and I'm writing like there is a first there is a name of the command, and second there is a method. Okay, basically yes, this is a method. So we need to create start method also. Let's create a start method here, and what the parameter in these methods are update and context. So when your dispatcher dispatch the particular request with /start command, so those requests goes to this particular method, and in parameter there are two parameters here, one is update and one is context. So let's say what we want in start, when you start our bot, what we want, let's say every time you start a bot or basically you send any message, Telegram will send a JSON response. Okay, Telegram will send a JSON response to that particular token, or basically to your bot, and that JSON token contains the update ID, message, your details basically. So let's say we want to see what are those details. Okay, so we will add this particular functionality, and on startup we want like a greeting. Okay, let's say the message that we want is like hi plus your name, okay, plus welcome to MimicBot. Okay, now what is your name? How can we get your name? So in Telegram there are two things you can see, like one is update and one is context. So update, in this particular update is basically a JSON response. This will give you the complete details. Okay, whatever what is your message, what is about your details, like what is your name, first name, username, or your chat ID. Chat ID is basically a unique ID given by Telegram to you. It's a unique, it does not vary, right? So it's fixed. So we can get all those details from this update. Like how can we get this? update.message.chat.id. This is basically the chat ID. Okay, if we want your name, so instead of chat, what we can do, update.message, there are options you can see like from user, bot, caption, text, chat. These are the functions. Okay, so we will see from user, and then from user will give the user details. Okay, we can see first name, we can write this, then I will with this particular thing you got your name here. So we want this message to send to bot. Now how to send this? So for that particular thing, context, we can use context. Okay, with context we can use a bot. Okay, so context we can use a bot method, and with bot we can, there are various methods, or there are various methods that we can use to, like there is a method called send document, send image, send messages and all. These are the methods. Okay, so currently we are sending a message, so we use send message. Now send message required two important things. One is the chat ID of user, and second one is the message. So now how to get the chat ID? You can get the chat ID with update.message.chat.id. okay, now how to the message is like msg. So with this your message will be sent to that particular user. So this is for start. Okay, now let's say we want to create another handler. Now this time it should be a message handler. Okay, all the messages will have to pass from this particular function, or will have to go through this particular function mimic. Now we need to create this mimic function. Okay, again it will take update and context. Now what we want here, we want like whatever the user is sending, we want that particular thing to reply. I mean from the bot, like if you are sending hi Rohit, then bot should reply hi Rohit to you. It should just mimic you. Okay, so how can we do this? We can simply send context dot bot dot send message. Here we need your id. We can get it from here, update dot message dot chat dot id. Okay, now here we need to pass a message, but we want like the message user have sent to the bot, we need the same message to pass from the bot also. So how can we get that message? We can get that message by update dot message dot chat dot dot from user dot update dot message dot text, I think, yeah, dot text. Yes, so in this case what happened, like whatever you send to the bot will reply back the same to you. Okay, so this is for message handler. Now yes, we are done with like mimic, start. I mean these are the two functions. And yes, one thing I also told you, like we need one more command handler. Okay, and this command handler is slash update. Now or we can say not details. Now what is slash details? It should pass through details. Okay, so I am creating another method. Now in this particular method I want whatever the update. Okay, so whatever the update we are getting, we want that same update to send back to the user. Okay, so that we can see what are the things that that the update contains. Okay, so we can do this, context dot bot dot send message update dot message dot chat dot id, and we want the updates needs to be sent. So update dot message dot, we want this. Okay, update dot message. Let's say we want to send update dot message. So update basically contains an update id, and then it contains a parameter. It contains a parameter message. So we want whatever will be the value of that particular message Okay, so we want that particular thing to send by the bot to that particular user. Okay, so we will see like what is it. So yes, our handlers are done. Now okay, now what we need, okay, we have created the updater, we have created the dispatcher, our handlers are also we have created the handlers too. Now the thing is like we need something. Okay, so how can we get those particular updates? We need to ensure like how we are getting those updates. So in Telegram there are two ways to get those updates. Okay, one is using polling and second one is using webhooks. So let me tell you the difference between both. So this picture represents the difference between polling and webhook. So in case of polling, your bot will ask from the server like, is my data ready? Continuously there is a time frame. Okay, after that particular time interval, it continuously asks server like, is my data ready, or did I get any new data from the users? Okay, and when the data is ready, the server will give that data to the bot, okay, to process. But in case of webhook, it's not like that. In case of webhook, what it does, whenever you get a data, okay, whenever you get a message in basically in Telegram, whenever you get an update, so the server will directly send that update to your bot. Okay, you don't need to ask every time. So which is better? I mean, it totally depends upon what you want. Like if you want your system to run on your machine, or you want to test your system locally, then you can use polling. Okay, but in case of webhooks are more efficient, because while checking every time, like between a time frame, is my data ready, is my data ready, in case of multiple data in that particular short interval of time, some data may lapse. Okay, but in case of webhook, these chances are very low. Okay, so your data may not loss. So in case of webhook, so which is better? Like in case of polling, you are continuously asking the server like, is my data ready, is my data ready? So it might be the case like you may lose your data, because in case of multiple data at the same time, multiple updates at the same time, you may lose some updates. Okay, but in case of webhooks, it's not like that. In case of webhooks, server will notify you like, yes, you have got this particular data. Okay, and it will store that data in the queue, and one by one it will notify you that you have got this update. So webhooks are better to use. Okay, in case if you are creating a web application or you are deploying it to the servers, the webhooks are better option. So we will see like how to create a webhook here, and let's quickly go to our application. So here we need to create one more handler, like this is basically an error handler in case we got some error. So we need to create an error handler also, and let's say I'm using a function error here for this error handler. Okay, so what I want, in case of any error, I want a message like, oops, error encounter. Okay, I want this message to be sent okay, I want this message to be sent. Now yes, there is one more thing, like in case of your name, I think you can get your name from user in chat also. There is also an option for chat.firstname, you can get it from there also. Since we have already created all the handlers, all the required handlers, now we need to set up the webhook right now. So how to set up the webhook? We can use updater. There are, like you can see when I write start, there are two options here, like to start polling and start webhook. If we start polling, then there are options like to poll interval, after how much time your bot will send the request to the server, like to check for the updates. And in case of webhook, it's not like that. We are using webhook, so I will tell you how to do. Yes, in this webhook you can see like there are various parameters. Okay, we need to set them up. The first one is listen. Listen is in this we need to define basic IP address. Okay, so here the default one is given like 127.0.0.1, but it's better to open this for all ports right now. Okay, and now what will be the port? We need to set a port. Okay, we need to set a specific port in case for these particular requests. So how to get it? You can use again that environment variable, and for Heroku you can get this port and you can set its value to 443. Okay, so this is for port. Now after that particular port, what we need to set? We need to set URL path. So URL path is basically the bot token. Okay, and after that URL path you need webhook URL. I mean, what is this webhook URL? I mean, this is the URL, I mean, by which your webhook will start. Okay, so the default method, basically the default URL is like https:// and here you need to write your, okay, sorry, this should be under, this should be a string. Okay, so here you need to write your bot, your application name, Heroku application name. So what is our Heroku application name? So in this webhook URL you need to, so in what is this webhook URL? Webhook URL is basically a URL by which your webhook will start. Okay, so there is a default format for this. So this is https:// and your Heroku app name. So what is your app name? Your app name is Mimic app. Okay, so your app name dot @heroku.com. okay, this is your webhook URL. After this what you need to do, you need there is slash also, and then you need to pass your token. Okay, this is the URL, and after this your webhook will start. And so there is one more thing to do. You need to set your IDLE. So what is IDLE? IDLE is basically if your bot is not getting the request for so longer time, it will just go to sleep. Okay, so it's better to set it for, so okay, so we are done with basically the controller. We can say this as the controller part of your Telegram bot. We are done with all the handlers, and now what we can do, we can simply start. So now we can just start the main function. Yeah, so we are done with the Python application now. Okay, we can remove those libraries or those modules which we have not used. The structure is like you have a app.py ready, proc file ready, requirement.txt ready, and okay, this is everything that we need till now. Okay, so in proc file we have done a mistake. So let's go to proc file. Here we write like web app.py, but the correct format is like you need to write what is the type of application, what is the, I mean basically which application it is. It is a Python application, let's say Python 3, and what is the file name? File name is app.py. Now it's fine. Now you can save. If you go to app.py, like in Python we write command like this, slash, command started with slash. Okay, so but while mentioning those commands here, while declaring those commands here, we don't need to write slash. So this is another issue you may face. Okay, this is one more thing, and yes, there is one more thing like dp.add handler, message handler. In message handler we have mentioned mimic function. Okay, so but I think in message handler there are two important parameters. One is a callback and one is basically the text. Okay, so I need to use filters here first. So what type of message it should be a filters.txt. so filter is, I need to import filters. So filters.text, I mean whatever the text, if user send any text, I set text because it will only handle in case of text. In case of videos, in case of audios, in case of file, it will not react with anything. Okay, so it will just take care of the text. Okay, so we are done with the application now. After that, what we need to do, we need to create a git here in this particular folder. So we will initialize a git, empty git repository here, and if you remember, like we have created a GitHub repository, we are going there, and what we will do, we will just add this repository, remote repository, to this local repository, git remote add origin dot git. So let's check it, git using git remote v. So here you can see the origin is set, and now what we can do, we can simply push this. Okay, so now here you can see the origins is set. We have set the remote repository with this particular thing. So here we can see, right, okay, there is one more issue, like in webhook URL, you can say the URL is like https:// your app name @heroku.com. It should not be @, it should be like .herokuapp.com. Now in PyCharm there is a better option to like commit your code. Okay, so this thing you can see here, there is a menu for tick commit. Okay, so you can click here and you can click on those files. I mean, there are 2213 files. We don't want these all files to be committed. Okay, so just cancel this right now. So what you can do, you can create a git ignore. Okay, so simply we go to new, we go to file dot git ignore. So in this particular file, let's say I am adding this. So in git ignore file, you can mention those folders or those files which you don't want to add. Okay, so here we can mention /lib scripts and include and this file, yeah, these files we don't want to include. Okay, so this is basically we have set in git ignore. Now if you click on this button, you can see like git ignore is already there and there are some files. Okay, you see those files. Okay, so we select only 3 files, app, proc file and requirement.txt. Okay, we commit this. It's say we please specify commit message. Here you can specify message like initial commit. You don't need to provide this initial commit. If we commit this so you can see here 4 files committed. It's an initial commit. Now the commit is done. What you can do right now, you can just push the changes. Okay, with git push, let's say origin is master right now. We have pushed the commits and now we can verify it on here. If we just refresh it, so it's basically a main. If we go to master here, yes, we can see that we can see those commits. Okay, these are the commits here. Now if we go back to our Heroku, we already have attached our GitHub folder. So here we can set up the automatic deploys. So for me, let's say yes, first I need to refresh it. Yeah, So here I can select the branch. Let's say I'm pushing my changes to master, so let's choose a master here, and I have enabled the automatic deploy, and deploys are automatic, so I can manually deploy right now. So it's the first one, so it's a first deploy, so I can manually deploy here. So click on deploy branch and let's wait for the deploy. I mean, you can see the logs here. Okay, so first of all, what it does, it install all the libraries that you have mentioned on requirement.txt file. Then it will configure your application, then it will read the proc file, and it will read the content, like what is the type of the application. It should be like web, worker, or time, I mean, or a clock, I mean, whatever it is. So it will compile that particular file and then it will start your file. So here you can see like deploy to Heroku is successful. It means your deploy is successful. So we can go back to Telegram, and here we have given a unique bot name. Okay, so here is our bot username. So if we just click @this, we will get our mimic bot. So it's not feasible to check all the changes in Heroku logs, okay, because you can't see much logs there, but you can see the logs here in command line also. How to do this? Let's see. You can log in first, Heroku login/i. It will ask for your credentials. Okay, once you logged in, to check the logs, you can write Heroku logs tail -a and your app name. App name is Mimic app. So here we can get all the logs. Okay, so let's say, okay, these are the logs. State change from starting to up. State build is succeeded. These are the logs. Okay, these are the these are the updates that your webhook is getting. So we have this bot right here. We can start this bot. Okay, after start, it say hi talking, welcome to Mimic bot. My first name is talking, so that's why it's saying hi talking, welcome to Mimic bot. Okay, we have other commands as well. Let's say check for the messages. Oh, messages, hi Mimic bot. So it will again revert back the same message to you, like hi Mimic bot. Okay, the /start is working, hi Mimic bot is working, I mean normal text is working. So now there is one more thing, we have /details, right? But it will not work. Let's say check this. It will not work. It will simply reverting you back the same /detail command, because while creating our application, we never mentioned like this particular command. /start is the default command. I mean, your Telegram bot will detect /start as a command. Your Telegram bot detects /start as a command, but it will not detect /details as a command. So you need to set that particular command. So how can you do this? Go to your bot father. Okay, so set commands. It will ask for a bot. Choose your bot. Now it say send a list of command. How can you send this? You need to like start to start the bot. Okay, press shift plus enter in case of laptop, and start. After start, there is a command called details for update. Okay, so these two commands I want, so I'm just sending. It says like success command list updated. So now that /detail command will work. So here it is detecting /details as a text, not as a command. So because it is just reverting the same. So let's check what is the issue. Here, okay, I think everything rest is same. Oh, okay, fine. Everything is correct. I mean, there is no issue at all. But why is it doing like this? So here you can see that we have defined the command here. Okay, we have defined a start command above, and then we have defined that message handler here, so which will handle all the text and it will just pass those particular updates to this particular function, mimic function, and after that we have defined that particular command. So here in this particular case, what happened, if you send like /details, so it will not go to this particular handler, because before this handler it will go to this particular message handler, and it treated that particular thing as a normal text. Okay, so what we need to do, we just need to cut it and paste it over here. So you need to keep in mind like that, if you want to define a command or you want to define a message handler, then you have to define the message handler at last. Do not define it above the commands, because then every command will be treated as a normal text. Okay, now let's check this. Just commit it and push the changes, view the logs. Build it succeeded. So let's get back to the Telegram, and here check again. Start is working fine. Your mimic is working fine. Okay, yes, /details is also working right now. So here you can get this as a message. It's a JSON basically response. We can print it also, but I have done it to show you like what update you are getting. Okay, so this is the type of update that the bot send to those particular handlers. So in this tutorial, I think we have covered how to create a Heroku application, how to connect your Heroku application with your GitHub repository, and how to create a basic Telegram bot, okay, in Python. So we have covered all this. So I am giving you a Drive link in description, and you can check that Drive link, or you can also check that particular my GitHub repository. I am giving the links in description, and in that you can follow the step by steps. All the steps are given there. You can follow the step by steps, and you can create your own Telegram bot. And let me know in the comment section like if you have faced any errors. Like I have covered almost all the errors. So if you got another error, write down in comment section, and I will try to answer you all. So that's it for today. If you like the video, do subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon so that you will never miss the updates, and share us with your friends guys. Thank you so much and see you soon.